Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Khan, and welcome to episode 130 of Good or Garbage, the number one place where you can find out what stuff is being sold in the division on a weekly basis. And this week is quite a bit longer than usual. I decided to kind of take it back old school style and help out some of the newer agents. I know that there's still a lot of people coming into the division brand new, and there's some things that they just kind of don't understand quite yet. So I'm breaking it down the way that I used to do it for these videos, and I'm going in a little bit more in detail on certain things. There is a GE going on right now. This is Ambush. So if you are looking to kind of get your what are the ones? Alpha Bridge, there's Firecrest, there's Tacticians, and there's Hunter's Faith. There's some really good stuff for Hunter's Faith, some really good stuff for Tactician and for Firecrest, and Alpha Bridge, just kind of Alpha Bridge. But yeah, there's some good stuff. There's some God Roll stuff. There's an Omega Suppressor. So let's get to it. All right, now let's move on to the attachments for this week. This week at the Advanced Weaponry Vendor, we have an extended magazine for sale with 116 magazine size, 5% reload speed, and 4% critical hit damage. Now, if you're looking to get some extra mag size, maybe for an SMG that already has some pretty high crit chance, you want to get some reloads to just, kind of get back into the fight a bit faster, and you don't mind the not so great magazine size, then you can definitely go ahead and check this out. It'll cost you only regular credits, and it's at the Advanced Weaponry Vendor for this week. At West 34th Street, we have the C79 scope, the 3.4 times scope, coming in with basically, this is for, I would say probably for an SMG, this is the God Roll. This is coming in with 19% critical hit damage, 4.5% optimal range, and 3% critical hit chance. I believe you can get a little bit more optimal range, but still getting these other stats is, it's pretty okay. Demagogue, how about that? It's still pretty damn amazing. Now the thing about this is you will have great critical hit damage, you'll get some critical hit chance, and then you'll get some range for SMGs so that they can perform better at all kinds of ranges, or better ranges, I should say. Could work out well for a PP19 or something like that, or even really well for a house. Now the other thing about this, particularly because and definitely you will want to watch out for this and maybe pick up a couple of these, if you run Deadeye, this is the perfect scope for Deadeye. If you have Deadeye, this is perfect because it specs into critical hit damage instead of headshot damage. Now the other scopes similar, like what is it, the VX 12 times scope, whatever that thing is, that one specs mostly, or specs only into headshot damage, and then it has the possibility of crit chance and all that other stuff, but the main attribute on it is headshot damage. This one is critical hit damage. So with Deadeye, once you go into cover and you're completely placed and you aim down sight, you can get 100% critical hit chance. Now there is 3% chance on this, so that is kind of a dead stat, but you still get the 19% critical hit damage on this. And the beautiful thing about this 3.4 times scope is that it actually zooms. Some of the other I guess sights that don't zoom don't trigger Deadeye. Please remember that, and that is a little tip for the newer agents. So if you are trying to get Deadeye to work and you found that it's not working, and you're going into cover and you're aiming down sight but it's not working, you actually have to push in on the thumbstick, or if you're on PC, hit tab, so that you can go kind of really aim down sight and look through the sight, and then that will activate the 100% critical hit chance for Deadeye. Now with that 19% critical hit damage plus this, it's still really good. This is a no-brainer if you're a Deadeye user, and if you're thinking about picking up Deadeye, or even if you're not and you want to just have this in your stash, definitely pick up at least one of these this week, just so that you can save yourself the headache, because these things are very rare. Trust me when I say that, they're very rare. If you're lucky enough to get them in a drop, great, but at a vendor, these are pretty rare, so go and pick it up over at West 34th Street. Oh baby, over at the last call we have a God Roll Omega Rifle Suppressor. It has been a hot minute since I've seen one of these. All of my Omega Rifle Suppressor headshot damage hunters rejoice. 18.5% headshot damage, 4% critical hit damage, 3% critical hit chance, and a reduced threat stat of 46%. If you are looking for headshot damage, if you've been looking for a nice Omega Rifle Suppressor, this has you covered up and down the board. Highly recommended. Go get it. Finally, something to go talk about. I'm happy about this one. This week over at East 34th Street, we have the SR7 Suppressor coming in with 19% critical hit damage, 2% accuracy, 5.5% headshot damage, and 41% reduced threat. Now remember, this only fits on larger weapons, so this will not fit on an SMG. If you are looking for something to work for your ARs, your LMGs, your sniper rifles, or anything like that, then this will go perfectly for you if you're speccing into crit. It'll give you a little bit of headshot damage. It won't give you any crit chance, but still, if you are stacking into critical hit damage, then this could work out for you. But remember, again, it only fits on larger weapons. This week over at East 61st Street, we have a heavy magazine spring being sold. This one coming in with 3% critical hit chance, 4% critical hit damage, and 10.2% rate of fire. I kind of think I remember seeing a rate of fire higher than this, slightly higher than this, but you know, this is pretty good for this week, so you can always use this as a jump off if you want to try a higher rate of fire with still some decent crit chance and crit damage. You won't have the magazine size, so you may want to use this with something a little bit fast, with a larger magazine, maybe like the PP19 or maybe some kind of LMG. But if you are using this, especially with Lone Star, this could work out well for you, especially with that mini tac link bumping in, plus the rate of fire is gonna shred. So let me know if you pick this up. It's over at East 61st Street. Pick it up. Now let's go take a look at this week's gear mods. This week over at East 40th Street, we have a prototype firearms mod being sold. This one with 262 firearms. Generally for any of these mods, I try my best to recommend only things in the 260 plus range. Again, for any of the newer agents, the maximum is 267. So if you need something higher, then you know, you're just gonna have to use this as a placeholder. But this one coming in at 262, this one has 3% skill haste. So if you are looking for some skill haste, maybe for your Electronics builds, now that the tactician is out and it's been going on for this GE, a lot of people are probably looking for some skill haste. If you need firearms to go with that skill haste, this could work out for you. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any Electronics mod with skill haste just yet. So if I do, I will definitely shout them out. If they don't, if I don't find anything this week, then definitely I will shout them out in future videos. So be sure to subscribe and all that other stuff. But this is the one to go check out over at East 40th Street for DZ. This week over at the Firewall, there is a prototype firearms mod being sold with 3% damage to elites. If you, this guy has his junk all up in the camera. Okay, this is the, oh, okay, he's gone. Okay, good. All right, so 3% damage to elites mod is being sold. This one coming up with 210 firearms. Really wish this had 4% damage to elites, but this is what we get. If we ever do get any of these damage to elites mods, be sure to check with the channel because I will be shouting them out. If you have not hit the bell for notifications so that you know when all of these videos and these live streams go live, definitely go ahead and do that. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, do all of that other good stuff just so that you can stay in the loop. 3% damage to elites. Really looking forward to a 4%er, but still, get what you can. This is what's going on this week, so head on over to the Firewall. If you need this, check it out. This week over at East 31st Street, we have an Electronics mod being sold with 263 electronics and 3% signature ability resource gain. So this could be really nice for any kind of electronics user, especially for a tactician, just because it'll allow you to use your super a bit more. If you have this with determined on your weapon, this could really change the game for you and almost make you similar to an alpha bridge kind of user, just because you'd have so much ability to use your super. So if you had something like heals and you were working within a team and you wanted to heal them, or for whatever, for any kind of reason, or if you wanted to use tackling more often, you definitely could do that because you would get more of your signature back. And again, if you have determined, then you'd have that and be able to get your super back faster with that, and basically just feed supers to your teammates, or if you're playing solo for yourself. So this is pretty nice, and I think people would be sleeping on that, but you may want to check that out. Just try it out, test it out, see if you like it, but definitely this could be pretty damn good. So if you need something like this for an electronics build, especially with tacticians being out right about now, then definitely go check it out over at East 31st Street. Over at West 34th Street this week, we have a 7.5% support station range performance mod. If you are looking for this for maybe your reclaimer build, definitely go over to West 34th Street. Check it out. This is a very, very good mod to get. Now let's take a look at the 280 to 283 gear score items. This week at the Advanced Weaponry Vendor, we have a gear score 282 MP7 being sold. Now the talents that it comes with are skilled, capable, and determined in the third slot. Now personally, I'm not a big fan of the MP7. I think the mag size for this is pretty sad, just because it fires so fast. 20 rounds goes pretty quick, and even if you have an extended mag on it, that 40 rounds will get eaten through quite quickly. Personally, not my favorite SMG, but it is what it is. It's still a fan favorite for a lot of people. Now it comes with skilled and capable, not two of the most I guess high ranking talents on the list, but it does come with determined in the third slot, and determined is a very coveted talent that I think a lot of people like, and even a lot more people may sleep on. Now the thing about determined is that when you have determined, you can pretty much use your supers a lot more often. What happens is when you use your super, it's completely gone, and then with determined you can kill maybe 7 NPCs, and then you should have your super back just like that. So if you are using this for an incursion or any kind of mission where you're killing a lot of NPCs, maybe you want to burst through them and use your super more often, this could help out. Maybe you're in the DZ, you're using your supers for fights in the DZ, you can just go ahead and kill some of the trash mobs walking around and get your super back even faster. It's a very, very, very useful talent, one that I think a lot of people love, and one that a lot of people don't really know about. Highly recommend it, but the problem again still is that these talents aren't really the greatest, but I know that some people are going to be looking for this, and maybe they don't mind having capable and rolling off skilled because they don't have the electronics requirement, and maybe putting deadly on there just because it's an SMG. It's up to you depending on what you guys want. Just putting this out there just in case anybody was looking for something like this. You can go and pick this up at the Advanced Weaponry Vendor. It'll only cost you regular credits, so you could test it out, see what you think about it, see if you like it, and if you don't, it's not really a big deal. It only costs regular credits. You can easily get those right back. This week over at West 34th Street, we have a gear score 282 PP19 for sale, and this one is a little bit iffy and is going to depend primarily on your build. Now the talents that we have on this one are Adept, Determined, and Hurried. Hurried is the baked in talent, so nothing you can really do there, but when we look at the other talents, Determined and Adept, we have quite a few questions and things that don't really work out for how a lot of people will want to use this build. Now the PP19 is a beautiful gun to have if you're running defense, because you'll have your shield out and you'll be able to shoot a ton of bullets, just because that's what the PP19 is about. Now the thing about this though is that defense build is really based on stamina. So if you want to max out your stamina, get that 9,000 stamina for the extra, survivability with the shield, then you can go ahead and do that. I know some people are doing that. Some people are kind of splitting it a little bit with not as much in stamina and then putting some of it in electronics or putting it into firearms, depending on what they do. The problem with that is that these talents on this gun particularly needs you to split it between firearms and electronics. So that is basically where the problem is. The set is built for stamina, but the gun wants you to go firearms, electronics. So that leaves us with the question of, do we re-roll these talents and get something else better on it and just lose out on one talent, or do we try to find a way to make it work? Personally, I would say that if you can figure out a way to roll off maybe one of these talents and make it work, or if you're comfortable with your build and maybe you just want to wait for a better gun or a different gun, you can definitely go ahead and do that. Let me know, if it was you, what would you roll off and how would you make this work for a shield build? Maybe that information can be passed on to some of the other newer agents who may be struggling or trying to figure out what they can do with their defense build. Let me know in the comment section below, and let all of the other agents out there know. Share that information. It only helps the community. This week over at Camp Clinton, we have a gear score 280 Paratrooper SVD. This one coming in with the talents Predatory, Talented, and Discipline. Discipline being the kind of baked in talent for all of the SVD sniper rifles. Now this particular one, if you're not too familiar with the SVD, is probably the best fast firing sniper rifle in the game. So with these faster firing ones, this one has very little recoil. It's very manageable, and it hits decently well. So with this, you can use this pretty much for SENTRY. You could use it for Deadeye. Those in particular are pretty good. Even though this week's GE, they have Hunter's Faith. Hunter's Faith is a little bit more suited for bolt action snipers and a little bit more of the harder hitting ones. So this one may not be what you're looking for if you're trying to test out your Hunter's Faith build. But if you are using SENTRY or Deadeye, this could work out very well for you, especially if you spec it right with the right attachments. Now getting onto the gun, this one has Predatory and it has Talented. Now Talented is one of those that you kind of want to have if you have a lot of electronics. If you are running some kind of support build, or maybe you're running Tacticians or Firecrest or Reclaimer, then this could work out for you. It's something that'll keep you out of harm's way, and you could still get some pot shots and get some pretty decent shots off. And since it comes with Predatory, you should be able to stay alive even faster because you have 35% health healing over the span of 20 seconds after you get a kill. Disciplined, if you don't know, killing a target makes your next shot with the weapon an automatic critical. So if you get the kill, then you should be able to get Predatory, which will give you your health. You'll be able to get Disciplined, and then with Talented, your skill power will actually go up. So if you are running some kind of skill power build, this could help buff that. And if you don't run a skill power build, you may want to get rid of that because the requirements for Talented are quite high at 4,790. If you guys are interested in this, it will cost you Phoenix credits, so go over to Camp Clinton, check it out. Over at Camp Hudson, quick little shout out, there is a gear score 280 sidearm, the tactical M1911. This one coming in this week with responsive. So if you are looking for a sidearm, maybe to do some sidearm kills for your commendations or something like that, then responsive giving you that extra 10% damage with if the target is in 10 meters of range. So if you are looking for something like this, you can go and pick it up over at Camp Hudson. Now it's time to wrap things up in the 284 plus gear score section. This week at Camp Clinton, we have a perfect gear score 286 Centurion for sale. This one coming in with Predatory. Now, if you've been looking for a Centurion sidearm to go nicely with your Liberator, then this is not a bad one to go and pick up. Predatory is one of the fan favorites when it comes to talents, just because getting that health back is always nice, especially when you can use this with trash mobs. If you're running low on health, switch to your sidearm, bang, bang, bang. get not only Predatory, but if you do have the Liberator, you'll also get the second talent bonus, the Free Republic. And with this, each shot with the Liberator grants 5% to your next headshot damage with the Centurion. So basically, with using the Liberator, you'll get more headshot damage when you switch to the Centurion. The Centurion with Predatory will grant you more health. And then you can also get a maximum of 200% extra damage from the Liberator to the Centurion. And then kills with the Centurion grants you a 10% rate of fire increase for all weapons for 10%. So that means that you could switch from getting that kill and getting that extra health to back to your Liberator, and then having an extra fast 10% more rate of fire with the Liberator. And depending on what talents you have with that could be really, really good. So if you are a fan of the Centurion Liberator combo and you like switching between these and having that mini tack link with the Centurion kill, then this could work out pretty well for you. And yeah, if you decide to pick this up, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I think once I get enough Phoenix credits, I might pick this one up myself. All right, guys, that is it for episode 130 of Good or Garbage. I hope you guys found something useful, something that you could use for this week. There was a lot of stuff. I took my time going through it, and I wanted to help out some of the newer agents. And I do want to say, spend a little time to say thank you to all of the people that came out yesterday for the Monster Hunter stream, the ones who've been supporting the channel, regardless of if it's the division or not. Big thank you to everybody who came through and really dug deep, even in them pockets yesterday. It meant a lot. As you guys know, the ones who've been around for the channel for a long time and the ones who've been just all over the channel, no matter what it is we play, thank you guys so much. Shout outs to all of the people that do love the channel for the division, but man, going into the future, man, there's a lot of games to be played and there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I really sincerely hope that you guys come through, show some love, support the channel, and hang out with your boy. We have a hell of a community here with some great people, and the only thing I can say is thank you very much to all of you. Much love. Have a great weekend. I'm out. Peace.